Hello, everybody, and welcome to the online version of Physics 222 for the spring term of 2020 here. This video, first of all, my name is Robin Wild. I'm the instructor of Physics 222 sections. This video, I just want to kind of introduce you mainly to WileyPLUS, but start talking a little bit about how the class is going to go, because I know everybody's kind of anticipating how things are going to happen. First of all, I'm using Zoom right now to record this video, and one of the things we'll do is we will be holding regular class sessions at the regular scheduled class times using Zoom. So hopefully you've gotten some information from the university about that. But as we get closer to the first class day, April 6th, I'll send out some info on that. We will be using Canvas, your Canvas shell, through the OIT website, TechWeb, and I'll make announcements and stuff there. But another thing that I'm going to end up using this term is WileyPLUS. Now, WileyPLUS is basically a Canvas shell with the Wiley textbook. It's actually the authors of this textbook are Halliday and Resnick. Their textbook and other materials are embedded in this Canvas shell. And I'm going to end up using that. Fortunately and generously, Wiley has made that free to us this term. So what I mainly want to do today is show you how to get started with that. One of the things that we'll be using it for is doing homework assignments. So all of your homework assignments will be submitted through WileyPLUS. There won't be homework quizzes for those of you who've had my class before. You'll just be actually doing your homework and putting your answers into the WileyPLUS Canvas shell. I'll show you how that works hopefully a little bit here. Later on, we may actually have exams and things like that. I'll give you information about that here in a little while. I'm still actually trying to figure everything out myself. But for now, let's take a look at the WileyPLUS a little bit. One thing that you'll end up having to do first is actually make an account through WileyPLUS and find the course. So let me go ahead and show you a flyer that I will be sending out to you here. So this flyer gives you instructions for how to get into the WileyPLUS course, my course on WileyPLUS for Physics 222. So first of all, you can see step one here. You'll go to this wileyplus.com, go log in, and just make an account if you don't have one, if you haven't used WileyPLUS before. The second step, then once you have your account, is you'll enter the course ID and search for this. The course ID is up here at the top, A63993. So you'll put that in and find my course, Physics 222. And then step three, you just access the course. And what you should see once you actually enter the course, get everything set up, is this. Let me go ahead and bring this up. So you can see it's just basically a Canvas shell that basically has the textbook embedded in it. So if you go over here to e-textbook and click on that, double click, it should bring up the chapters, which they also call modules in WileyPLUS. It takes a little time, but you'll see our first chapter that will come up. This is the chapter we're starting on this term, chapter 21, Coulomb's Law. Now, this textbook is different than the OpenStax textbook, and usually it's not free, but again, Wiley made it free to us for this term. I will send out announcements about what chapters correspond to this in the OpenStax book if you want to keep reading that textbook as well. But here you can see, right, chapter 21 has all the information. It's got the whole chapter here. So you can read this chapter. If you scroll down far enough, you'll get to the problems, just like any other textbook here. So let me get to the problems. There are some conceptual type questions, and then eventually you'll get down to problems here. And so when I do the homework, what I'm going to do is pick some of the problems from this set And I will let you know the numbers of the problems. For example, one of the first problems that I will assign is number 3 here. But when you actually go to do the homework in the WileyPLUS site, what you'll end up doing is going over here to assignments. And when you click on that, up will come the assignments that I have made. Now there's an assignment 0 here, which I would encourage you to do. It's basically just an assignment that will ask you questions about how WileyPLUS works. So it's a good introduction. Of course, I'm not going to grade that. You can try it and just hopefully get a little more familiar. There's also an adaptive practice for each chapter. I have not tried that yet, but what I understand is that if you do it, you can answer questions and it will give you feedback on how you're doing and what to study. So, if you have time, I'd encourage you to do that, but the adaptive practice will not be part of the grade. So the first assignment homework assignment that will be part of the grade, I've got down here, homework chapter 21. So I'll click on that. First, you'll see an announcement that tells you what problems in the e-textbook I've chosen for this assignment. Okay, so chapter 21, 3, 7, 11, and so on. Now, when you actually go down and do the assignment, you'll scroll down and you'll see the questions here. There are 7 of them. So they're not numbered here, they're just listed as the questions that you'll do. You can see I tried question 3 and got it wrong, and that's why I only have 1% in my grade so far. But when you go, you just click on the question, and it will bring up your question here. And what you can see is this problem, you'll be putting in a number. One thing I should point out, in the e-textbook, the problem is exactly the same, but when you actually attempt the assignment, the numbers may be slightly different, right? So just be aware, for example, this Q1 here may not be 24.7 microcoulombs in the textbook. In fact, it's 26 microcoulombs. So just be aware that the numbers may be different, and they may be different for different students doing this, okay? So I don't know how you'd want to take that into account. You might want to do the problem from the textbook first, and then redo it with these numbers, or just look at this and start doing it at that point. But just be aware of that. Another thing is, right, all the problems here you'll have to put in the units. Now it's asking here, what is the distance in meters? So this one's pretty easy. You'll just go and click, right, and put in meters. Now, the number can be a little bit tricky, and I haven't calculated for what the answer is for these numbers, but sometimes the rounding is a little bit tricky. So let me go back here. Well, for a minute, let's just point out a couple other things. One thing I should point out here is if you look, you get 0. I have 0 out of 3 attempts. So you get 3 attempts to do the problem. Now, sometimes you might put in, let's say the answer is 0.07, right? And you put in 0.1. It may think that's a wrong answer. So you may have to go out and add that extra decimal place, 0.07, and then it will accept the answer. So just be aware that it can be a little finicky with the rounding of your numbers, okay? So we'll see how that goes, but if you do have problems with that, let me know. Actually, I think that's basically it. So as you go through, right, you will go and answer all of your questions, and maybe I'll finish up question 3 here. So I put in some answers, and they are not right for these particular numbers. So, but what you'll do is once you've got your answer, you'll hit submit answer, right? And as you can see up here, it'll say my answer is partially correct. And it will actually point out the 2 boxes, in my case, that are wrong. So that will give you a little bit of a chance to kind of correct your answer and a little bit of guidance on what you're getting wrong there. But once I've used my 3 attempts, my assignment is sent to the gradebook. So just like Canvas, your grades will automatically show up in the grade book there. Okay. Now, we'll talk more about the grades as we go here, but I think for right now, hopefully that gives you a good start with using WileyPLUS. So what I'd suggest is that as soon as you can, set up your WileyPLUS account, go in here, maybe try to do that assignment 0. And if you get a chance, you can start working on homework from chapter 21, although you can see it's not actually due until April 13th. So hopefully that's helpful. Again, we will be having regular class times through Zoom, or class at the regular class times through Zoom. But I will continue to put up announcements, other things as I go here and as I figure things out. And this is all new to me as well, so please bear with me, but we'll make it through. Okay, thanks. Bye.